Hey Money Guy family, it's your host Brian Preston, Bo Hansen, back with another episode of Ask the Money Guy.
That's right. You guys have financial questions. We've got your financial answers. You can go out to your favorite social, use the hashtag AskTheMoneyGuy. You can leave a comment in the comments below, or you can go to our website, moneyguy.com.
It's Brian Preston, the Money Guy.
Brian, today's question is actually a website submission that came from our Money Guy website. And this is from Michael. This is what he said. He says, I'm looking to get my will started. I'm 24 years old and my wife and I just had our first kid. Congratulations. What is the least expensive way I can get started on my will?
Oh man, now look, Michael, you're a man after my own heart. But let me tell you, one of the things you need to be careful about is trying to find the least expensive way to do things that are huge life repercussions. So, and look, let's kind of go through these, Bo.
Yep.
Because this is, I guarantee you, Michael and everybody out there is thinking these same things. What about the napkin method?
Yeah, yep.
Could you do an estate plan on a napkin?
Yeah, we think there's an order of operations. If the option is having nothing or writing on a sheet of paper what you want to happen and where you want your stuff to go and who you want to step in, writing it on a sheet of paper, signing it, and putting it in your underwear drawer is better than doing nothing. But it's probably not the best solution, especially when there's a young child involved.
Yeah, I would think that you can, for sure, especially with a decision like who's going to be the guardian of my children. You know, I think it is okay if you went with more of a boilerplate type option. You could go with an online resource. There's all kind of, I don't want to give any free branding or commercials for anybody, but it is one of those things where you can go online, use some basic research and language for what happens with the kids. But there's another phase on top of that.
We think that anytime your situation gets a little more, I don't want to say controversial, that's not the right word, but if there are some things that you really want to make sure you do correctly, like there's a special person you want to step in and take care of that kid if something were to happen to you guys. And maybe your parents or maybe your spouse's parents might not agree with that person, or maybe they might want to contend that. You want to make sure that your wishes are carried out if something were to happen to you. So it does make sense to probably meet with an estate planning attorney who can draft documents, make sure they're properly worded and properly executed, so that if something were to happen to you, your wishes are carried out.
Yeah, if your situation, exactly what Bo was talking about, if it's gotten complex or there's potential for it to be contested. And, you know, situations where this could come up. If you know that you've gotten remarried, you have children from a previous marriage, you know, all these things add a level of complication. If you own multiple pieces of real estate or you own a business,
or there's a large estate, life insurance proceeds that are going to pay out.
All these things kind of go into that. You probably don't want to just go with basic legal language. You need it to be much more custom, and that's where you want to bring an attorney, because here's what I like about also having an attorney. If you leave, you know, because that's what happens, you die.
You expire. If you expire. You
reach terminal and you're no longer on the planet and you can't speak for yourself. It would be nice if the person that helped you craft this is actually able to speak on your behalf, so that your intentions are known. Sometimes even if you use an online resource, that is not as easy to kind of share. So after you choose this, what's the next step?
Well, I was going to say, your question was, what's the least expensive? We actually laid them out the way we did on purpose. The napkin is obviously the least expensive. Then it does get a little more expensive to go with an online.
Don't do the napkin, though. We're not really recommending the napkin. Keep going, though.
The online solution is going to be a little more expensive than the napkin. But then the attorney probably is going to be the most expensive of the three options. But you really have to measure what's the difference in cost and what's the difference in value. And I would argue for big decisions like who's going to take care of your financial affairs, who's going to watch after your children, who's going to steward the resources you leave behind for your children, that's something where even if it does cost a couple hundred or maybe even $1,000 or maybe even a couple $1,000, it's probably going to be worth it to get that in place.
So then there's a lot of you, because we got this question from Michael because he has a brand new baby. Congratulations. But a lot of you guys, we're all transient now. We're moving to different states. So we're asking, when do you monitor? When do you review? When do you update these type of things? So there's some basic life things you need to think about. If you have changed states, if you've moved states, probably want to update your estate documents. If you have marriages, babies, deaths, as well as if your net worth has gone up substantially, meaning you've exceeded like $10 million in net worth, you probably want to reach out and consider updating your estate document.
Just like most other areas of your financial life, just because you get it in place early on doesn't mean you can just bury it in the sand and never look at it again. Make sure you monitor, make sure you review, and you're going to set yourself up to make sure you're covering all your bases. Michael, this was a fantastic question. If you guys have questions you want us to weigh in on, feel free to go out to our website, moneyguy.com, and ask a question there. You can leave us a comment in the comments below, or you can go out to your favorite social and use the hashtag AskTheMoneyGuy.
Money Guy team, out.